compare these two palettes. The Chanel, one of the newest by Chanel, is from the Bouton collection, the Couture, and the Duo by Patrick Ta, the brown one from last year, that is still at the club. I think there are similarities, right? Let's see on natural lighting here. The main difference is that for sure the Patrick Ta one is more shimmery, while the Chanel one tend to be more subtle in shimmer content. The most shimmery shade is this shade here at the bottom, right? And this one has a nice satin sheen too. And as you can see, my most used shade is the cream one. I want to check myself because if these overlap, then I may sell this. I realized that this palette is not well loved. I haven't practically used it after the video that I recorded 10 months ago when I purchased this. So yeah, if it's redundant, I will put on my Vinted. By the way, I have many pieces of makeup listed on my Vinted because I'm trying to remove from my collection what is redundant. And most of the things are things that are just watched once or almost new, like this one. So have a look on my Vinted if you live in Europe. Let's proceed with swatches. So there's this peachy cream shade. And we will see it on my eyes as well. You can see this satin sheen that is emphasized by the natural lighting here. I will go this way, clockwise. This is the shimmery shade that, yeah, is more of a satin. You see how refined it is. And let me compare it directly with the Patrick Ta. Okay, this is the comparison. The Patrick Ta is more shimmery. The Patrick Ta, in real life, I can see that has more of a silver shimmer, while this by Chanel stays with a more metallic finish. I don't see glitters. I see more of a metallic shine. Let's see how they swatch. So this is the Chanel. And I will put the Patrick Ta here. So yeah, what I observed on the fingers, it translates very well here in this swatch, in that the Chanel one stays muted, while the Patrick Ta is a different thing, has this silver shimmer that changes the color. The base is the same though. The Patrick Ta has this silver shimmer on top, so they are different. Now, in this particular duo, this shade at the bottom has kind of a more satin quality, not very shimmery. I think that the reason is the raw material, the raw pigment before the processing. Nothing is confirmed. I don't work in makeup manufacturing. So let's compare this one. This is very nice. I think the closest is this top left shade. So this is the Chanel one. Oh, these are very different, right? So the Chanel one is the one more on the right. So is this swatch, and on the left, I will interleave, let's say, the Patrick Ta. That looks like a, these are very nice. This one looks the darker version of this one by Chanel. And finally, the last Chanel one is this one. That is another one that I have used a lot because it's a darker shade. Let me put it here. So it's more plum compared to the Patrick Ta that is cooler. Let me, oops, I have a Kiko mascara here that gives problems. Okay, these are the swatches. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, the swatches that are more on this side on the right are the Chanel ones. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is Chanel Couture. and these two are the Patrick Ta. Yeah, they are still different. Still, I would like to show you a comparison on the eyes. One eye Patrick Ta, the other one Chanel. So overall review of this quad, since I have it for some weeks now, so I have a clear opinion about it. I don't love it. I think that the best quad from this release is the Stellar. This one, yeah, the problem is that it doesn't have a lot of contrast. You can see here that this, to be honest, this shade, that is this one, is too warm for me. You can see how oranges pulse on my skin. And these two plums are very similar, so these two. So practically, I use this as a duo. And since this doesn't deliver a lot, I mean, it has a shine, right? But if you can see the swatch is much deeper, is this one. So yeah, it doesn't translate as it looks on the pan. And so if I use this as liner, for example, that is the way I tend to use these shimmery shades, it looks like flat. So overall, yeah, that is my opinion about this quad. Is a bit flat and is more of a duo instead of a quad. Nonetheless, I love this shade. The fact that I can pair this shade with one of these two. This, realistically, I will never use it because it's too orange for my liking. I usually use this duo here. So it's kind of a waste. Fortunately, I got this on sale. I paid full price Stellar because I thought it was Chanel exclusive, but it was not. After a while, they became available in many retailers, so it was possible to find some discounts. Full price, I would have been disappointed because it's something that is kind of redundant with all of these shades that are quite close in terms of intensity. These three. The Patrick Ta is the most versatile because it has one clearly shimmery shade and one more muted satin shade. But the reality is I tend to gravitate towards this because of this shade. A last note before going to the eye looks, the clay texture that Marion was referring to when it refers to this palette. Well, yeah, I get your point. Do not think that this is like a Florases. In that case, I see more of a clay crayon type of texture. Here, the thing is that they are less hard gel texture, they are softer, and also the shimmer is less prominent. So when we have those more matte hard gelée, yeah, it becomes challenging. They are not as distinctive like those shiny, shimmery ones, right? So also, what I notice is that all the pans are softer than the usual hard gelée, but it's still in hard gelée formula, this one. In the Stellar, this is less noticeable because the Stellar is more shimmery. While this one is more of a satin, is much more muted. So the most shimmery one is this pan. But you have seen already that the shimmer content is anyway limited. I mean, is almost a satin, especially if you compare it next to the Patrick Ta one, right? But I have to admit, for the office, this is not appropriate. So the reality is I never use the Patrick Ta because this is a brown I can find elsewhere. Maybe not in this refined formula, but it's not the first duo, the first thing that comes to my mind. So I'm more inclined to resell it so it can find a better home rather than mine that is cluttered with makeup. So there's a background noise because there's a big construction work going on next to my apartment. Please excuse the noise, the background noise. I am completely free of makeup. It will be an eye look only. So I have a clean, fluffy Pat McGrath brush paired with the Chanel cream color. And you will see what happens. It has a lot of peachiness. It turns peach on me. So it's not lightning, it's quite dark, and there's orange. I like this satin quality because I think it smooths out my lids, and that is the main feature of this Argelé formula. So it's soft, it diffuses very well. I like it. It's not outstanding of a color. I wish it was a bit lighter so that I could have a more brightening effect. Instead, this is just a nude peach shade. The way I'm going to the office with this is with this light color all over and with the darker color used as eyeliner. And to do so, I will use this Sisley brush. It's a flat brush, okay? And this is a brush that I found in videos from Sisley, from the official Sisley channel. And they were using this also to apply the Argelé singles by Sisley, also all over. So it's very versatile, but in this case I will use for lining my eyes. So I will use this one. Yeah, and you can say, okay, it's very boring, but okay, I have, yeah, I'm not in my ideal, let's say, position for makeup. Just recording this is so difficult, so I will add a little bit lighter color just to blend this. The line was thicker than I wanted. I like to kind of trace a straight line so that it looks like elongated. I don't like to darken up my outer corner because it gives me aged woman vibes. For now, I'm just minimalistic with the eyeshadows. I buy a lot of eyeshadows, but I use them in a minimalistic way. I don't even highlight my inner corner. Also, here there are no shades to do so because this cream shade is not a lighter color. By the way, I also have discoloration here. I have some yellowness my inner corner. Now I will remove a little bit of this eyeshadow from my eyelid, and I will use this shade here all over so that I can have a kind of one-to-one comparison with the Patrick Ta duo. And I will apply this one, I think, with my fingers. Okay, it's nice. For my eye shape, avoiding the deepening on the outer corner is just more youthful on me. I feel better, more confident with this makeup. I'm a one and done person practically. And I will emphasize the dark eyeshadow. Okay, this way. Just to use all the colors, I will use the more reddish one at the top left, below my eyes. Let's see. Yeah, it gives a subtle blended effect. I think this demo was very useful because I didn't go for this more shimmery, let's say, eyeshadow all over, and I like the result because it's not so punchy as I was expecting. I like it. I can use it at the office. Very office appropriate. This is so difficult. So I will use, again, the shimmery shade all over and make a line with a darker shade. This is, okay, is more pigmented. It has more impact. And yeah, it is more glam. At the same time, I wouldn't go to the office like this. I mean, it is just my bias, but it's just beyond my level. And let's try the darker shade with the same brush. Yeah, when you use the darker shade with such a small amount of skin, they all look the same, so it doesn't make a difference. The difference is made essentially by the shimmer shade. Okay, so this is the comparison. I think I will do a side-by-side comparison now. The looks are very similar. The only difference is the extra shimmer by Patrick Ta. So my conclusion is it truly depends on your preferences. This can be a boring look, but I I prefer it right now. In terms of the reddish undertones, they are very similar, especially on the eyes. This is also a reddish undertone. So the conclusion is that I think I will resell this and buy instead the gray one. At least it's a little bit different compared to this color scheme, because out of the two, I will reach for sure for this one because it's more subtle. But it's a very personal preference. Your threshold may be higher and you may say just the opposite. So if you want more impact, this definitely delivers much more than this. And since I use this as a duo anyway, there's no much difference between these two in terms of versatility, because these three shades are quite similar. I practically use this as duo as well. So for me, these are two duos to compare. And this is the more subtle version, the Chanel one. Definitely fall palettes, perfect for this time of the year. See you in my next video. Bye.